South Jersey bad boys coming at you live.
Here from Bad Boy HQ. Just a couple of bad boys up to no good doing hood rat shit with their friends. Yeah.
Damn straight.
Yeah, we got some raving reviews from the listeners of the program from last week's special guest episode with a couple of guys that had it was their Make-A-Wish, so we couldn't deny it. Yeah.
First guess.
Yeah, first live in-person guest. We have had some guests audio only call in. We've had the Lindenwald lawyer, Rhinestone Raymond, a couple other nut jobs. But yeah, finally got some people that were willing to come over to the headquarters bunker. Yeah.
Gonna get some more guests coming up soon. But we just figured we'd start with the Handsome Idiots and just kind of air some things out.
Just air some stuff out. There was a lot of airing of things happening, a lot of toilet flushes, but what can you do? Just a name of the game there.
Yeah.
So if anybody has a problem with it, just forward that to the unemployment office and they will stop John's checks.
We got some new artwork in the club this evening.
Oh, yeah, dude. This is like going to turn into like a clubhouse. Like, this is nice. This is nice. Which, we can go into a couple.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, let's. So I put up, so in case you guys are listening to the audio or whatever, so we got some new photos on the backdrop here. We're trying to fill this wall just so it's not a plain blank white wall. So decided we
can't have plain white these days.
No, it's a problem. So we figured we'd diversify the wall a little bit so there's pictures of some of my more finer moments in life.
And we do need evidence that we do have black friends.
Yes, we do. And as you can see...
Specifically 50 Cent.
Yes, specifically Mr. Cent. Yeah, right here, right over...
Now, how did you and 50 meet? I got to know.
So me and Mr. Cent met at a liquor store on Girard Avenue in Philadelphia, circa 2014, summer of 2014.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, I was looking good there. Yeah, my
single days.
Yeah, could you tell? Yeah, it looked like I had a little bit of life in me. It wasn't all sucked out of me by then.
Back when you were trying.
Back when I was still trying to look half decent. I didn't have any tits. I had a jawline. It was nice. Those were the days.
You and Cent look good.
Yeah, me and Mr. Cent look great. For a while, that was one of my most liked photos because for whatever reason on Instagram, he liked it. And when he liked it, I guess it started showing up in explore pages or whatever.
Really?
It was a photo post, and this was 2014. It was a big deal if you got 11 likes.
Yeah.
Because it went from so-and-so and 9 others or whatever to 11. So, like, you didn't have the and others at the end.
Right.
That photo got, like, 800 likes in, like, 2 hours.
Oh, my God.
He liked it, and then it just started showing up places, I guess.
Wow.
And then, I don't know. So
I like that he gave you the black guy shake.
Yeah.
Or a photo post because I was not prepared. I've experienced this one time. I met Kenan Thompson.
Oh yeah.
And we did a thing together and we took a picture and he gave me one of these and I didn't know what he was. I thought he was bringing me in. Yeah. But then he stayed. I go, oh, this is the pose.
He put the knuckles up against you to keep you back.
And I realized I'm like, oh, this is a black guy photo pose.
Yeah.
And
that has to be, yeah.
I had to get used to that
because it was
pretty
just
sick though. I mean, it's cool to get the experience.
Yeah, so my head's going to be blocking it a little bit, but I'm hoping that when I post some clips and we come in tight, you just see 50 Cent's head like over my head a little bit.
I just like the mystery. Like when we do have more guests on, we should just not acknowledge it and just wait to see people realize and go, is that Dan with 50 Cent?
It's not.
Oh yeah, they go way back.
Yeah, I shared it every single National Best Friends Day for years, and he didn't like any of those. But the initial one he did, which meant a lot. But I think that he remembered when he liked it shortly after we left, and I posted it and everything. I think he remembered that I introduced myself to him, and I said, "Mr. Cent, it's really nice." I called him Mr. Cent, and he laughed for a second. I don't think he's ever gotten that one before, but I don't know how many white guys in liquor stores he's taken pictures with.
Probably a lot. Probably every time he's in a liquor store.
Yeah,
there's a guy.
If we ever get a shelf here, I have that bottle of vodka that he signed for me. I have it.
Held on to it.
I held on to it. It's a bottle of Ciroc, and it was like plain Ciroc. Remember when Ciroc came out?
Yeah, it was when we were in college, that was a high class liqueur to get.
Meek Mill started mentioning it. 50.
Yeah, Ciroc all in my bottle.
Dude, it was the shit, and I loved it because the branding was perfect. Ciroc is Swedish, or not Ciroc. It's Effen, not Ciroc.
Can you smell what Ciroc is cooking?
Fuck, I fucked up the entire thing. Mr. Cent, I am so sorry. That was a bottle of Effen vodka.
What is it?
Effen vodka. EFFEN.
Gotcha.
Meek Mill was with Ciroc.
Swedish?
It was Swedish. The word effin is Swedish for smooth.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit, this is great. The word effin means smooth. Like, perfect.
I didn't know my dad was Swedish because he was always going, get this effing thing out of here. Come on, guys. We like to have fun here on the pod.
Yeah. We like to joke around. We're a couple of rascals. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a bottle of effin vodka. Ciroc was Meek Mill's thing. He had effin. There was a time in the rap community where they all had their liquor sponsorships. They still do. But I loved it. I drank that. I still have the bottle, though. It's around here somewhere. And I think it's actually over there. I'll have to bring it out when we have somebody on that recognizes it. I'll bring it out.
Anytime somebody comes on, though, if they see the picture and they go, is that you with 50 Cent? We have to just go, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Don't give any backstory.
Oh, we should.
Just,
you should.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with 50 Cent.
Should we say it's like, oh yeah, he was on the podcast a few weeks ago.
No,
yeah.
I think just playing it like I've known 50 for a while.
Yeah,
and just like Dan weird. This is the weirdest fact about Dan, but he and 50 Cent go way back.
We go way back
but
to.
Don't give the backstory of how.
Yeah.
Just we keep saying like they go way back.
We'll keep that going right now. So I told the entire story. The only people that will know about this story are the people that listened through the podcast and heard it in full here.
Yeah. So listen, all 7 of you.
Yeah.
Keep this between us.
Yeah. Anybody else that's listening out here, if you guys hear about Dan and 50 Cent's backstory, just leave it at they go back to 2014. They've been friends for almost 9 years now.
And even if people ask you, you just go, "How did we first?" link up, and then we'll change the subject.
Yeah, was it? Nah, couldn't have been my buddy.
You got to go like when we first hung out.
Yeah,
and then go somewhere else.
Should we mention like really random locations? Like
no, just be as vague as possible.
Yeah, we should just
I forget how we've hung out a number of times,
couple of times. Yeah, it's just one of those
over the
things.
years. We've kept in touch.
Yeah, dude, this is turning into quite a random because that's a picture of 50 Cent. I have a signed bottle of his. That signed Gary Busey photo over there. When Gary comes back for his trial, we'll get photos with him, so we'll replace that.
Yeah.
But if he's guilty, we will delete them. But
of course.
Yeah. But yeah. So 50 Cent, me and Mr. Cent go way back. Couple of just rad guys, you know.
We got you in the hospital bed.
Dude, me in the hospital bed right here.
What's the backstory there?
I was so fucked up. That was right after they took the pain pump away from me.
Right after your wedding.
Yeah. That was the day after my wedding. It was a great start to my honeymoon. So they give you a pain pump in a hospital. It's like morphine, basically. And if you feel pain, you can pump it. But I'm just sitting there. I pressed it once. I went from 0 to midnight, 6 to midnight, I think they say in the business. I went from 6 to midnight in 0.5 seconds. And I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. So then I just kept on pressing it.
You were hard?
Yeah. No, not hard. I was just, when my head like felt so hot after like literally 5 seconds.
Wow.
And I just felt I was on cloud 9 really quickly. And I was like, holy shit. I mean, it went through an IV. It makes sense. But
yeah.
They took it away from me because I kept on pushing it. They're like, you can't be using it like that.
Classic Dan.
So I was real fucked up, but I was in the hospital because I had acute appendicitis. My appendix.
Excuse me?
Yeah. What did you just call me? Toilet flush that right out of here.
What is that? Acute appendicitis?
It's where your appendix is
appendicitis, but it's cute.
It's a little cute. Just like it flirts a lot and wears lip gloss. The appendicitis, my appendix was leaking fluids and it was inflaming everything in my digestive tract.
Not so cute.
Yeah, and that is like poisonous. So Martin Luther King Day 2012, I went into the hospital and I was like, I have a stomach problem. It just
ruined your MLK Day.
It really did. I had a lot of big plans.
You and 50 had a lot of big plans.
Me and 50 were going to meet up. I was at the virtual in Mount Holly and I was like, I'm about to go meet Mr. Cent. We're going to pop some bottles and
some Ciroc.
Yeah, and then I had to miss it because they wouldn't let me leave. They're like, if you didn't come in here today, you might have died next week. I felt like I had a stomach ache. Like it didn't feel that bad, but it was just
always the story with appendicitis is it just bursts and people have no idea.
Have you had yours out or anyone in the family?
My brother did.
And were you there when he did? Because
I remember we were young and he it was before school and he was just in bed like just bent over in pain, just like, oh, my stomach hurts so bad, and just seemingly out of nowhere. And
does,
my parents were like, what is going on? And then went to the hospital, and luckily it didn't burst, but it was close.
Dude, it came out of nowhere for my sister when she had it. One of my cousins had it rupture, but mine just didn't rupture. It just like was.
What happens if it ruptures?
Dude, if it ruptures, it's basically like it just fucking explodes in there, and all that shit leaks out. They have to get it all out quickly because it'll just kill everything in here.
Oh my God.
But the thing about it that pisses me off is that they don't know what its purpose was. There's no purpose right now for the ear appendix. They think when like humans were like Neanderthals that there like was a purpose for it. But like over time as humans evolved, or beings evolved into humans, that it just didn't have a use anymore. So they don't even know what it was used for.
That's wild that we haven't figured out what the use was. What was I going to say?
It's like a ticking time bomb just sitting in there that can kill you, but like otherwise it'll just sit there.
Do they know why it typically bursts?
I don't know. I'm sure they know why it bursts. I don't know what it like,
Like, is there something that triggers that? Is it just like it happens to so many people?
It does. It's very common. I haven't been made aware of anything that's preventative for that, or you can voluntarily get it out, I guess, if you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was my when I was going into surgery. I just hate hospitals. I avoid hospitals, the doctors. I go to the dentist because I can deal with that. But going into doctors' offices and shit, like I just avoid it.
Yeah.
So I was in there and I was so mad, and I was going into surgery, and I was just like nervous, and I got frustrated out of nervousness. I came out of surgery, and I don't remember any of this because I was still coming out of anesthesia or whatever. My dad, you know how they push you down like hospital hallways with like in those huge beds with the railings on the side or whatever? Mm-hmm. They had to restrain me to that because I was like fucking like causing a problem, just like bursting out in like anger, and I was screaming and everything. They get me into the elevator to go up to where the rooms were and everything. There was a mom with her kids in there coming for visiting day, like it was visiting hours during the day or whatever. And they're standing in the elevator. The elevator door's closed. My dad's just standing there with me, and I'm like quiet for a second. He said I just started screaming, "Suck my fucking dick, you fuck!" I just started losing it. The mother had to cover her kids' ears. They like just. My dad was like trying to get me to shut the fuck up.
How old were you?
I was a sophomore in college.
Oh my God. Wait, were you looped up, or were you in so much pain, or are you that afraid of hospitals, or just hate hospitals?
I just hate hospitals because I constantly getting poked and prodded, all this stuff,
Yeah, but that's a crazy reaction.
It is, dude. I would kick and scream at nurses until I was 14 getting annual shots at the pediatrician. I went to the pediatrician until I was in high school. I was a problem. And then the nurses there were like, listen, we're not big enough to hold this man down. Can you go to an actual doctor now?
Now, if you had to get a shot today, would you still freak out?
No, but I would start sweating in the palms a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just like the thought of it going in.
I hate that. And I always said to my dad, he would constantly just call me a bitch, and because I'm 14 or 15 years old, and I'm like screaming at nurses to not get near me. I was like, I could be really comfortable around needles. I was like, that would be really strange, but like I just hate like that when I had to get blood work done, like, and then that it was constantly a thing. But when I was in the hospital, it was right around when Joe Paterno. Remember how quickly he got not caught, but like involved in the whole scandal?
Yeah, and then he died like a week later.
He died like a week later. I was in there in that week. I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I went in, and then I came out of surgery, and they're like, "Oh, he's dead." I was like, "What?" And then that South Park episode came out where they were making fun of Joe Paterno, and everyone had meth labs.
Yeah.
When I was all fucked up on the medication, I accused of one of the nurses of having a meth lab. And then they actually had to do an internal investigation because they're like, yeah, we know that he was all fucked up on something, but like we kind of, dude, this
poor girl probably just graduated nursing school and is like super pumped to get into a hospital, and your dumbass gets in and just fucking ruins it.
Dude, I had a hot nurse that was there when I was in there, but she was the overnight one, so I was just like going in and out of it, and all I would see was just like a massive rack, and then I just go in and out of it, and it's like, what would I do if I was fully awake anyway? Just sit there quietly, awkwardly? Yeah, it's just
exactly.
Yeah, just sit there.
There's a positive hospital story, but yeah, as a diabetic, I do have to agree with your dad that is a bitch move. With the needles, I do get it. I would say most people that I talk to.
Yeah.
But I like to get cocky with it and go, you guys are all pussies. You can't handle needles.
Watch this shit. And you just
exactly.
I've seen you do it, and I get squeamish just watching it. And I'm like, oh shit.
It's the one thing that I got that I can kind of hang my hat on it and act like I'm better than people.
Yeah.
Even though it's a disease that I'm bragging about. Listen, You guys ain't diabetic, you fucking losers.
The diabetic bad boys. Now, all I need to do is just continue eating nothing but horrific shit, and we can be. That's a different type of diabetes, though, right?
It is, yeah. That you have to earn.
I'm gonna earn it, and we can be the diabetic bad boys. You want it? I'm gonna earn it.
Yeah, diabetic bad boys, South Jersey bad boys,
whatever you want to go with.
Yeah.
I'll talk about one of these other ones real quick.
Please.
What was it? There's one off to the side over here. I was wearing a JJ Redick Duke jersey when we did Edward 40 hands, tied duct tape of 240s to my hands.
Classic.
I was the first one to finish, if you could believe that. I was done 240s in about an hour. And they got 40s. When they get warm, it gets fucking disgusting.
Oh, it's so gross. That's why you have to drink them so fast. And
that's all I had in my head. I was like, I need to down these things. Plus, I could drink that shit like water anyway, but not warm.
Yeah.
So I was the first one to do that. I had my hands free. And somebody came in there, and we had like a thing of Lysol. We were listening to Old Dirty Bastard, and he mentions a line about getting sprayed in the face with Lysol. So I was like, oh, somebody should spray me in the face with Lysol right now. And I had this brilliant idea, and I had a video of it. I probably have it somewhere. This guy comes up to me, and you hear people screaming in the background, Dan, don't do it. Don't do it. Somebody comes up and just maces me in the face with Lysol.
Jesus.
and I start screaming like a fucking nurse was coming at me with a shot. I started screaming bloody fucking murder. I couldn't see for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I bet, dude. Took Lysol to the face?
Lysol to the face. There was no effing vodka or Ciroc that night, just Colt 45. Yeah.
Sounds like a good party.
Yeah. Speaking of drinking, though, do you got any big St. Patrick's Day plans?
No, I'm just doing the old comedy show. Doing a Don't Tell Philly show.
Oh, a Don't Tell Philly show?
With the old Tyler Wolf. He's got me booked on that Friday.
Nice.
It's a good lineup. I think it's me, Tyler, I think Maddie Weiner. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Weiner from New York is closing it out. I forget who else is on it. But yeah, I'm doing that next in line show on Friday.
Nice. Sweet.
And I'll try to drink somewhere afterward.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe hit Haddon Ave with the boys, with South Jersey Bad Boys.
I'm going to be out there looking for people. So as long as you're out anywhere, strolling around Haddon Avenue, up and down the Haddons there, yeah, that's the place to be. I think me, Mark Persons, a few other people will be strolling around, whistling at ladies. Yeah, I think I'll be doing it up. I took off of work for it. I took off for that the first week of January. I saw it was on a Friday, and I was like, this is the day of my people. I'm going to be going out, getting blackout, and causing a few riots.
You know, that's fun. I mean, like, St. Patrick's Day is always a good time every year, but I've never thought ahead enough to take off work for it.
I don't know why. I just remembered that it was on a Friday, and I'm like, I'm just going to take off for it because...
But every year, you, like, really make it a point to do something?
Yeah. Sometimes... Well, this is the first time with my actual job now, like, you actually have to take off. Previous jobs, I just didn't take off and just went rogue for the day. Yeah. But here, you kind of have to. It's weird. People actually do stuff during the day.
God.
It's fucking crazy.
Grow up.
Yeah. So I did that. We're going to be out there. And I remembered a few years ago, the St. Patrick's Day before the pandemic. So St. Patrick's Day 2019, me and one of my buddies, I lived in Barrington at the time. Yeah, I lived over there.
Don't tell the people where I live, by the way.
You're just going to see people just strolling around.
I'm going to see Rhymestone Raymond outside of my door any minute.
No, he's going to be walking up and down Clemens Bridge Road with a limp, just like, he's going to be looking for you.
Yeah.
Get those meaty hands to work, as he said.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out.
So we went to the tap room that day, and this was the first and only time. St. Patrick's Day was on a Saturday that year. There was an entire long, like almost like cafeteria type of table where you could fit 12 people at it. Parents came in there after a soccer game with their kids, 8, 9-year-old kids, it looked like. They were all sitting down at the table, and we were sitting at the bar. It was St. Patrick's Day. They had a DJ. Shit was fucking bumping, shoulder to shoulder. I was talking with my buddies at the bar, and one of these moms came over to me, tapped me on my shoulder from behind. She's like, "Can you guys watch your language? Our children are here." And we were in a bar getting fucked up at like noon on a Saturday on St. Patrick's Day with a DJ playing. There were MILFs grinding on dudes like 5 feet away.
Yeah.
But she came up because I called my buddy a dildo, and she's like, "Can you watch your language?"
Yeah.
Like, made me want to just lose my mind. And I was like, what are you doing with your kid in a bar when I'm just trying to drink everything away here?
Yeah, get the dildo out of your ass.
Yeah. And I only say that to remind myself I need to start calling people dildos more often.
That is a a funny thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
Calling somebody dildo is a classic.
That's a great move. Yeah.
Calling a girl calling a guy a bitch is always funny to me.
Yeah.
Calling somebody a dildo, that's always funny. There's a couple of words like that are just instant classics for me.
Yeah. Just we're gonna have to bring it back, and we'll start casually mentioning that to people on this podcast as we talk about 50 Cent as well.
Sure.
So yeah, we're gonna start building that out. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so how about, did you wake up with a nasty hangover Friday as well? Because I sure as shit did.
I did, dude. Like, we didn't even drink that much, but I'll tell you what, dude. Taking February off from drinking and jumping back in like that,
Yeah.
Dude. The hangovers at 30 just hit different now.
They do, and now it's you got to step the drinking game up. You got to get a dad beer gut going on.
We had like a couple of beers, and then we did one green tea shot. And I mean, my hangover wasn't that bad, but it was the fact that I was even hungover was shocking. Because I'm like, I probably had like fucking 5 beers, dude.
I went back and thought about it. You brought some of those IPAs. I had one of those.
Yeah.
We stole a couple of Millers out of the fridge. Me and Mark Persons did. I don't know whose Miller Lite it was, but we had a few of those. Then we went over to Brewers, and I had a Guinness followed by a Bud Light green tea shots and then a Miller Lite.
Well, it's also probably the combo of everything. That's never good.
Yeah, and of course Matt was Matt the one who ordered green tea shots?
Of course.
I was like, are we sorority girls? What the fuck are we doing?
Honestly, I was glad. Like, I agree.
Yeah.
But I hate shots in general. That I'm like, if I'm gonna do one, give me something light like that.
Yeah.
But in general, I'm like, who the fuck ordered shots? I don't want this shit.
Yeah.
I fucking hate doing shots, dude. I don't enjoy it.
I thought you were gonna say, if you're gonna be doing shots, you're just gonna be doing the one that you give yourself, and you just fucking pull out your EpiPen.
I'll do a couple of insulin shots just to get the crowd going.
Yeah, that's what. Oh, you should do that on stage. You know, that would really get the people going.
I remember one time when I first got diabetes, I was like 16, and I started going out to like parties and stuff, and I didn't know if I could drink at the time because I had started drinking when I was probably like 15 or whatever.
Okay.
At parties and stuff. And then I get diabetes at 16, and for a hot second, I'm like, well, I don't know if I can drink. I don't know what's going to happen to me. So I wasn't drinking for a little bit. But I would I'd be at a party, and just for a goof, I'd like whip out my needle and just, take the shot of insulin that I needed to take, so that people would be like, what the fuck's Donegan doing in the corner? Is he doing heroin? And people would be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, I'm diabetic, you fucking asshole.
You're like, fucking what? Like, here, I still had to ask you the difference between the diet. I still don't even know that, and I'm 30 years old. I can only imagine as a teenager what that would look like.
Yeah. It was, and thinking back, I'm like, what? Like, that's such a shady move. Not funny at all.
That is so funny. Did I ever tell you about how the gender reveal sketch that we did, where you were the guy pretending to shoot steroids up?
Yeah.
And how my uncle was like, yeah, I thought it was like good up until the part where you had the guy shoot heroin in the backyard.
Honestly, looking back, that's totally understandable.
I thought so too, and I was like, no, wait a second. I guess I could see how it does look that way.
I don't know why we didn't think about that. Like, we thought it would be so obvious that I'm shooting up steroids, and I play like this scumbag character from Fishtown.
You said Kensington.
From Kensington.
So I think that's what. Yeah, we teed it up that way.
Yeah, so it's if anything more. It definitely looks like 90% more like I'm shooting up heroin, like a junkie. Like, my character's a junkie than a guy who's just doing steroids like a couple minutes before a fight.
Yeah.
It was, funny thing to toss in there, but definitely got misconstrued by the audience.
And that's one of those things. That's why you got to get multiple eyeballs on things, which we did, but our friends are degenerates.
Yeah.
So,
we got to get some more sketches going.
Yeah, we do. They're always very fun. I'm gonna put out the one that we did with Cody, This Old Mess one.
Nice.
I had to edit that one. It was so stupid because it was the ChatGPT one, but it was funny with Cody acting it out because he was born to play an alcoholic contractor.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be putting that out this week. But yeah, I think other than that, we should actually, do some other ones. Get some Paul Carson, Sweet Boy Paul has some good ideas cooking. So we got to get him over here.
I want to continue to do some more that are just random scenes, not necessarily about anything, like the one I did with Ryan and Jake.
Yeah.
Where it's just 3 guys.
Yeah.
And, the one guy finds out his girlfriend's cheating on him. Mm-hmm. And then getting there and just playing with it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we have kind of a loose script.
Yeah.
And then let's see what we can come up with and just try to make each other laugh. I think that's key. Like, in the past, when I've when I've done sketches, I think I've scripted it out too much, and we get there and we kind of get married to our ideas.
Yeah.
And then you stick to that. But what I've learned is every single time when you go into something thinking that you want one thing, it always it takes on a life of its own and becomes something different. And I think that it's better if you just kind of roll with that.
Yeah.
Versus fighting and be like, well, it's not in the script. Like, just go with whatever is funny.
Yeah, or you just film in a couple of different ways. Not that we're
Have
anybody that
multiple
should
options.
be. Yeah. Not that we're anybody that should be teaching people how to do sketch comedy, but we figured it out a little bit.
Just for our own sake of making our own sketches more fun and better.
Yeah.
But I still do love just randomly tossing one of those out on social. I just like making stuff.
Yeah, that's always fun. Yeah,
Like we got the pod, we do stand up, but I love getting together with comedians and seeing if we can come up with just stupid characters and random shit.
It's a triple pronged attack there. We should at the minimum do another South Jersey car commercial this spring.
Definitely, like that's one that is it's an easy like loose idea.
Yeah.
That we can go and just play with and have fun with.
That was so funny when we did that. And if you haven't seen it, it is on our YouTube page. And
that took on a life of its own, too.
It did. Yeah. And I put it on there. You have it on your thing. We still share it every single year. It got a pretty good traction. And there's, like, we did it in that old, is it the Newton Diner that was standing in that parking
one
lot?
of the diners that burnt down.
Yeah.
Like, this would be a good idea to...
I remember we did it there, but you had a specific character you were doing a parody of, and I had no idea. I thought we're just being like ourselves as like scumbag, and you're like, you pull out a mustache and you put it on, and you're like, I'm gonna, you got right into a character.
What gave me the idea is I saw like a Cherry Hill Nissan commercial that was so ridiculous, and I'm like, I'm just gonna make one. I'm gonna be that guy and make a commercial because it's so funny.
It is.
They're always like they have the worst South Jersey accent. The production value is horrible. They're always standing stiff and awkwardly. I'm like, why don't you guys just hire an actor? Come on down to South Jersey Nissan. We got the best price. Like it seems like such a blue collar guy that they put in a suit that's never been on TV before. And I'm like, this is so insane.
I saw a commercial. I forget which one it was, but local car commercials, the production value. Like, things have gotten so good.
And I'm like, who's writing these?
Who's writing them? Who's filming? Who's doing the graph? It looks like a teenage, like, high school project, like a Better Call Saul commercial.
Yeah, it's like dial 188. Use lots.
Use car now. 188. But the one guy.
Come on down.
Come on down. Ask for Gary.
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
Yeah.
The one commercial I saw, this guy is just like, they play like a soft music there, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, other dealerships have really jacked up their prices after the whatever the used car shortage there was. He's like, I would never do that because customers here are my family. And it's like, you're a used car salesman. You are on the lowest rung of society, right above some ambulance chasing lawyers and little league coaches.
Yeah,
you are right there. Yeah,
it's they're the most outdated commercials that you'll still see around. And it's so funny to me that they're still making them that way. Like, things have gotten, we could easily make a higher production value commercial ourselves just with our own equipment. And I'm like, you guys hired somebody you're still making them like this. Like, the total 90 is like the 188 with the accent, no actors, like just in the lot with no script. Like, it's just so funny to me that I love shit like that.
There's still a market for it. That, or people are just so used to that format that it just is ingrained in them. The Cherry Hill Nissan thing is still going. The
friendly Nissan giant.
All of them, they have to be following a like marketing study that says these things like that. You know that immediately.
I don't think those guys, like, that's my point though. I don't think those guys are following any analytics on this shit.
Oh no, not any actual analytics.
But maybe back in the day they were like, no, this is what
the jingle gets stuck in people's heads.
That's true.
The jingle, like nationwide, like you can throw out things there like nationwide. I'm sure. Like, you know that.
It's one of the I don't know what the statistic is, but it's like one of the most ingrained jingles in people's heads. Like that if you have to think of a commercial, everyone recalls this one. If you had to guess, what would it be?
Jingle that everybody, like a national, worldwide.
It's a national commercial. It's a shitty one, but it's one that I think they did a survey, and it was like, what is the most well-known one that everybody it comes to mind?
The Pfizer vaccine.
No, but that's probably inching up there.
I'm trying to think. Stanley Steamer Empire carpet.
No, but that's like a great example. So the one is, it's my money and I want it now.
J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
Yes.
And those commercials were crazy too.
Yeah, it's my money and I want it now.
Yeah. Yeah, but now whenever I hear or think of that, it's all I think is Lemaire's bit.
Yeah.
What is it? Something I want sex and I need it now.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have butchered that anymore, but it's the thing that you say things, and there's another example.
I want it now.
One of the other very well-known ones, you've probably heard of it locally as well. It goes a little something like South Jersey
bad boy. You do different variations,
but
it gets in the people's head. I mean, we have callers, loyal fans who come in, they call in, and they say the jingle, which is like, it's the best thing in the world. When they call in, they go, South Jersey bad boy.
Yep, I actually changed my ringtone from the chorus of Grills by Nelly to the South Jersey Bad Boys jingle.
Still going with the old ringtone.
The old ringtone, yep, Grills by Nelly. That's my go-to walk-up song at your show on Thursday. I think Jay, that Afghani guy that we kind of let film some things, he was asking for walk-up songs, or maybe it was Johnny No Jobs, Johnny DJ No Jobs.
Johnny Recent Jobs.
Johnny Recent Jobs, yeah, he's going to be working for a German company or something. We'll see how that goes. But
He's got the look.
The chorus of Grills is incredible. I mean, just smile for me, daddy. What you look, it's like a conversation between a very...
Let me see what?
Yeah. And I did. I wish I had a picture of that up here of me wearing grills in 8th grade. Tinfoil over the teeth. Yep. That was the go-to move, and the ladies loved it.
Yeah.
But, so, and the Thursday show was a great time. Your mom and her friends had a fucking blast.
Yeah, it was my mom, 2 of my aunts, and their friends.
Oh, okay. 2 of them were your aunts. Oh, okay.
Yeah. 2 of my aunts were there. My mom's one of, she's one of 10. There's 6 girls.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild. But yeah, they all came, had a good time. They were sitting in the back.
Okay.
They were ones laughing in the back. But yeah, overall, I mean, we packed it out, sold it out again.
Packed it out.
That was a lot of fun, and I think I'm just excited to kind of continue to build that show.
Yeah,
and we're just doing it on a monthly basis. I think I'm going to take a hiatus from it in April just with the baby.
Yeah,
but I believe the next date that Tara at Re-Up Fashion gave me is May 15th, which is going to be a Saturday.
Nice.
So we'll actually test it out. I mean, we did a Friday. This past one was the Thursday. The next one will be a Saturday. It'll actually be celebrating the 2-year anniversary of Tara's shop.
Oh, shit. So, she opened that during the pandemic?
No, it
was a year after.
A year after.
I'm not good at math.
I think that's what she said. I think it's a 2-year anniversary. Okay. So she wanted to do, some sort of event.
Nice.
So we locked in that day. I think it's May 15th. Let me double check while we're on the cast right now. But
that'll be good. Yeah,
we're building it out, and people. So it can't be May 13th.
May 13th.
Sorry.
That's Saturday.
May 13th. Keep an eye out. We'll get that out soon. But we're building some fun shows here.
Yeah. To our one girl dad that commented about the Life Center game, he said he's going to see us there. We gave him the ticket. He's like, I'm there, and then he wasn't there. We would have known if he was there.
What was his name? I wonder.
I don't know. I have to
look him up.
His comment.
I wonder if he was there and just didn't say anything.
He was just hanging in the back, just throwing some drinks back quietly.
I don't know who it was, but we had somebody that didn't want to pay via debit card or credit card, and they came the day before in person to make sure that they secured their tickets, which I was like, wow, it's dedication. Like,
I love
people really wanted to come.
Dude, I love that, because we were talking about this before, about things we've been watching. We just finished watching the season finale of The Last of Us, that show.
Yeah.
Did you watch this?
No, so I'm going to catch up on it tonight.
Okay.
We're 2 episodes behind, actually, so
gotcha.
I got some catching up to do.
But you did at least.
Was it good?
No, actually, the last episode was pretty stupid, to be
really?
honest. To be honest, I didn't like it. So this just happened last night, so maybe a few episodes down the line we'll do it. But the one that can't be a spoiler at this point, unless you haven't watched the show at all, was the episode with Nick Offerman. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What did you think about that episode?
Well, at first I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But by the end of it, my God, it's such a tearjerker. Like they build up this beautiful story of this guy who falls in love with this dude, and they build this beautiful life together. And God, it's so sad, dude. By the end of it, you're like ready to cry. I mean, by the end of the episode, I was like, oh wow, that was really good.
Yeah.
But at first, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I thought the same thing, but then I saw that it was basically an extension of Ron Swanson when the apocalypse happens.
Yeah.
Because he had his whole doomsday bunker, had a bunch of stuff. He was talking about how he doesn't trust the government. All these. He
pretty much plays that character. And
he does.
That kind of is just him.
And then it comes out that he's gay in this show. It was a continuation. He never came out of the closet on Parks and Rec, but he did in The Last of Us, and then he died in the arms of this sweet man. And it's a really touching episode. But that's what made me think of the guy that shows up to pay in cash and not a debit thing. I can respect the hell out of it. I wish I could do that. I kind of just draw a line in the sand of certain things. But that guy definitely has a doomsday bunker. Speaking
of good shows right now, wanted to throw this one at you. Have you watched Severance?
No, you know what I thought you were mentioning was Succession.
Another Parks and Rec guy. It's what's his name?
Aziz.
Adam Scott.
Oh, Adam Scott, the Step Brothers. Adam Scott.
He's in everything.
Oh, I've seen commercials for it. What is that about,
dude? It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
So I just got Apple TV.
Oh shit! You're fucking spraying. Holy hell!
So I did the free trial.
Okay.
Because I really wanted to watch that show Blackbird, which I did, which is also really good.
I haven't even heard of that.
I'll tell you about both of them.
Apple TV.
I'll give you a brief synopsis on both.
Let's go.
But I did the free trial to watch Blackbird. I did. It's really good. And then I'm like, well, it's only $6 a month or $7, so I'll probably just wind up keeping it.
Yeah.
But anyways, Blackbird's a really good show. I heard DeStefano mention it on Rogan. It's about this guy, and it's a true story. Mm-hmm. It's about this guy who gets arrested for like weapons charges and stuff. But he's really likable, really sociable guy, and he's sentenced to do like 10 years in prison. And then there's this other guy who, I can't think of the references of the other movies he's in, but you would know him if you saw him. He's some fat dude that's in like a bunch of shit. But anyways, his character, who's a real guy, he was like what they call a serial confessor.
Yeah.
So there would be all these murders, and he would go around to the different towns and confess that he did these murders. Didn't actually do them, but he was murdering people, and he would confess to all these murders that he didn't do to distract from the murders that he actually did. Because then they chalked him up. He would go around to all these different towns and he would confess these things. They go, that's a fucking crazy guy. He does it in all these different places.
That's a fucking move.
Yeah. It's like this weirdly genius move that this guy was doing, and he would get off. And then he's in this maximum security prison while he's waiting for his appeal because he confesses to this thing. And they send in the other guy, and they go, listen, if you get a confession out of him, your 10 years is done. You get out.
Yeah.
You get out right away. But he has to go to this maximum security prison and befriend this guy.
Yeah.
So it's really, really interesting. Obviously, it's a dangerous job for him. Severance is fucking awesome. It's basically, how do I describe this? They put this company that they create, they put a chip in people's brain so that when you go to work, you are completely separate. You're completely separated from yourself while you're at work.
Interesting.
So when you go into the building to, like, Adam Scott is the main character. He goes into this building for this company that does this, and then when he gets in the building, he forgets everything about his personal life, and he's just himself at work, right? So they call it like an innie and an outie when he's in that they're like two completely separate selves, actually. So, and then when he's done work, he goes back to his normal life. But so it's like no time even happened at all. It's like he goes in to the building and then he walks right out because he doesn't remember a thing, because that's so it's almost like there's no essence of time with that. But these workers realize that there's like some fucked up stuff going on with the company, and they're trying to figure out a way to tell, like they're being manipulated as workers And how do we tell our other selves? Because they're completely...
Oh, that they're being used like that?
That there's some shady stuff going on.
Damn. That would be...
It's almost like they're prisoners.
Yeah, yeah. It almost like they're... Yeah, because it's like that Black Mirror episode where it was like basically a prisoner in your own mind in a way.
Yeah.
That would really kill the lives of people if they couldn't bring their personal stuff into work.
To me, I'm looking at it and it's like hell to me.
Yeah.
Because they're any selves, like the self that's at work, they're on this constant repeat where they're just in the office all day. They have no connection with the outside world. So that they have no idea if they have families, if they're in relationships.
They don't get any PTO.
Yeah, but even if they did, like that, you can't remember.
Yeah.
So they're all sitting down there going, I wonder if I have a family. I wonder what my outside self is really like, because it's a different person.
Jesus, but they actually can have those thoughts while they're in there.
So it's the same body, like they're the same person.
Yeah.
It's just their brain switches over in this weird way to that work self.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Dude, I almost, because I would love some workplace drama, and without any of that, you can't witness it, be involved in it, get called into HR. Is there any HR jobs there if somebody can't act a fool? I guess HR, they sneakily are the people that are trying to have the company's best interests while suppressing stuff. So I feel like they would be the ones up to no good.
That is there's all sorts of stuff that goes on, but it's weird. Like they can basically build this fabricated world because when they do the procedure,
yeah,
that self wakes up in this weird world, and they have to like explain to them what they're doing there, because they're like, how the fuck did I get here?
Yeah.
And then it's almost there's elements to it where their office setting is back in time. It's like in the 70s. And I don't know exactly why.
They just haven't been able to get in touch with an interior designer on the outside world.
Right.
Yeah, they're still using the big MacBook Macintoshes that had the see-through things on the back.
There's all sorts of weird stuff, but they don't know any difference. So to them, they're like, this is normal.
Oh, shit. Okay. That sounds interesting.
Dude,
I'll have to watch that.
It's so fucking good.
You know what would be, you'd like what was the first show that you mentioned there? Blackbird. Yeah, see, I think the only thing that could possibly be worse than potentially, along those lines of even framing somebody for murder, is these companies that have you start a free trial and then automatically charge you if you forget a day later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's right up there with framing somebody for murder.
Yeah.
Is that how you got into Apple TV? You forget to cancel the free trial?
Every single subscription that I have started with a free trial that I just didn't feel like ended.
And that's how they get everyone all the time. And I even set reminders for some things that some people set up, or that Rachel sets up on her TV.
They get you in because you're like, oh, I'm still finishing Ted Lasso. I don't want to.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. And when you go on a brief sabbatical after having the kid, I think I might get the old battle axe in the chair down here. See what we can do.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out a substitute for me for
a substitute
potentially.
Yeah. Who would be your ideal substitute for substituting, tag teaming in?
First of all, there's no replacement for me, as we all know. I don't mind if Rachel comes in. She knows our dynamic. She comes in. I'd like a rotating guest. I think that would be cool. You bring in whoever you want.
Holy shit! Really get out there. Might have like someone's like third cousin removed, or like some like former felon. I might go on the White Horse Pike and see who's at the bus stop.
You know what? I'd like to see Jim Kelly come in here with your guys' dynamic and him firing off like really dark stuff, and you guys playing volleyball with it.
I'll have to get him in here, or get
Jim would do it.
Him and his broad, and then I'll put Rachel in the hot seat too.
There you go.
And see who has more to lose.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's not Jim Kelly, and it's Jim K. Jim K. Every kiss begins with Jim K.
Every kiss begins with Jim K.
That's what he heard our episode with Jad Slay, and he's like, I'm Jim K. So
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was being dead serious.
He doesn't want to go by Jim Kelly.
No, that's what he told me, and then I brought him up as Jim Kelly this past weekend. So I was like, but like I was also like, you know how many Jim Kellys in the world there are, but like he still wants to disassociate in case something.
Yeah.
So in case anybody else here, you don't know who Jim Kelly is. All right? You've never seen.
Do you not know that his real name is Jim Kelly?
Yeah. The guy who was flicking the dildo in that one sketch for the bachelor party was Jim K, not Jim Kelly.
That's his severance. He's a different self. At work.
Yeah.
That's his comedy self.
Yeah, that's him. That's when he's at work and he's an innie and an outie.
You got to watch the show.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I'm going to have to start a free trial and then forget to cancel it and go on there. Or just share your info with us because other than Netflix and Amazon Prime, we have a different person's login on every other streaming service. But we don't have one of yours.
I'll think about it.
Yeah. So we're stealing multiple other people's stuff for Paramount, HBO Max, other things. So
It kind of goes against my morals.
Yeah.
But I'll consider it.
Do a tax write-off. You're helping those in need.
Let's pop into some articles because I probably got a skididdle.
Oh yeah, we're 46 in.
Soonish.
Okay, so I'll give you the choice here. I'll give you a brief synopsis of a couple of different options here. So a university got a surprise $1 million gift from a grad 20 years after she died. Bride and groom roasted for using mashed potatoes instead of confetti. I changed my name to Fire Exit, and now I'm more famous than Elton John. Or Karens unite to say comedy shows with their namesake take jokes too far. We'll save a couple for other episodes.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to get into?
Let me get the Exit Elton John situation.
Oh, boy. This one is...
that sounds fucking absurd.
Yeah, so this guy, a 41-year-old man who previously went by the name of Dino Wilson, legally changed his name to Fire Exit after it took hold as a family joke. And he said no one else has a name that well known, not even Elton John.
Well, every time he walks in the room, people are like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, we like to have fun here.
The most fucked up part about the article is that it says, according to Exit, his new name really sparked something because the English native said that he always is offered free things whenever he goes places. People give me free drinks. I got my hair cut for free because of my name change. I've been signing signs everywhere.
Wow, man. Hey, whatever you got to do to reinvent yourself at 40, I suppose, but you sound like a fucking mental case.
He said it was during COVID he came to the idea. I had nothing to lose. It was cheaper to do it during this time. He paid $21 to officially change his name. He said I changed it online at 1:30 a.m.
Wait, and how did he come up with that? He said it was a nickname?
No, it was a family joke. Like somebody like if you had the name Exit Only, you would be the most well-known name person in the world because of how popular Exit Only signs are. This guy was from Britain as well, in case you were thinking he was mentally deficient.
But he's got to go around telling people that
his name is Exit.
Exit.
Yeah, his name is Exit.
That actually, the first name of Exit is kind of cool.
That having the name Exit, because then people would be like, "Oh, how do you spell it though?"
Exit.
Yeah. So
hi, I'm Exit.
He said that
I'm excited to see it.
I'm exited.
Really
Yeah.
I tried.
It's more of a
I'm Exit.
Yeah.
Exit. Wow, interesting.
He just takes pictures with exit signs.
Oh my god, let me see a picture of this fella. What a fucking
He looks
tool
somewhat
bag.
normal, and I've done stupid shit on the internet at 1:30 in the morning.
Sure.
But this takes it to for $21 though. That's not a bad idea. So I think on our next,
I love that he was waiting for the bargain. He was like, "I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna blow a lot of money on this."
and he is a dad as well. So
Oh Jesus Christ!
Dad's looking for bargains. It's a thing. I'm about to do it as well.
This world's going to shit, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Look at these dads goofing off. What's next? He starts a podcast in his buddy's basement with pictures of Gary Busey papered all over the walls.
And Mr. Cent, yeah, how dare any
Get
of
the
you?
fuck out of here.
Yeah. So next time any of you people see me in person, you better refer to me by my new name, and that is
Enter.
my new name is Employees Must Wash Hands Before Returning to Work. So you better fucking know the deal. Better not mislabel me with my new name.
Yeah.
What's the dumbest thing you've done at 1:30, and then we'll get to some of those other articles.
Yeah,
with some guests.
Dumbest thing I've ever done at 1:30 a.m.
1:30 a.m. and the one girl, Jessica, the one that spelled her name with an apostrophe in the middle, she doesn't count.
Okay. We'll bleep her name. The dumbest thing I've ever done at 1:30 a.m.
Yep.
Here's something. I don't know if it's I'm sure not the dumbest, but a consistent dumb thing that I do every single time.
Yeah.
Is I get drunk at 1:30 a.m. Then I order food, and by the time they get there, I fall asleep. Every time.
Damn. Dude, so you're not like pumped, ready to go for the food?
I am, but then I'm so fucked up that I fall asleep.
What has happened? What happens after that? Like, do you get woken up by a doorbell or knocking? Or
sometimes if I'm lucky, but I'm typically a deep sleeper. So there's been times where you wake up and it's just they leave it at the door.
They just leave it, and then you wake up the next morning.
And you're like, why did I order why did I order a 30-pack and Cheetos and a piece of cake? Yeah. You're like, Jesus.
Yeah, who ordered this birthday cake? That's kind of fucked up. Yeah,
I've been known to do that.
Yeah.
Notorious.
Well, yeah, it's awfully tough to do it now, too, because it's so easy to deliver. Because you can just do it on an app.
That's a dangerous game. Dude, you could do so much stuff when you're fucked up. You could order all this stuff to yourself.
You can get fucked up. You get married to a whore. You can do a lot of stuff fucked up now. It's unbelievable. You do it through an app. You don't even have to call. Sober. You don't even have to call a place anymore.
Yeah.
How else would you be able to order Wawa from your house if it wasn't for just pressing a few buttons when you're all fucked up on mushrooms, ketamine, whatever you're doing?
Yeah, and, they're really creating so many opportunities for us to never come outside again. Like you can DoorDash fast food now. You know?
Yeah, and it's I keep on telling my battle axe to delete that fucking app.
What do you think's the dumbest thing you've ever done 1:30 a.m.?
Me and my buddy pulled a storm drain out of the middle of a street. And there was cops standing right there, and there was about a 5x5 hole in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
We didn't see a problem with it.
You guys were just bringing it back to the house?
We were just trying to return it to its rightful owner, which was a guy that ran a chop shop about a few blocks over. His name was Dennis, and those things are solid steel. And
they are.
Yeah, so he was going to pay us $50 for it. So we're walking back from the bar, and he was open, and it was like probably 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And my buddy just goes up, and we, if anything, alerted the town of Annville, Pennsylvania, that they had a problem, that these things could just get pulled out. They weren't bolted. They weren't locked into the ground.
I love how that's your defense. Your Honor, we're getting to the bottom of these issues, and we wanted to let you guys know you got some real infrastructure problems here.
Yeah, you do. And these things were not safely secured to this pothole-ridden road, and we were simply just trying to pull it out and put it on your doorstep at the police station. And also, 3 cops just standing there doing nothing. I think you either need to lay somebody off. Taxpayers aren't getting their money's worth.
I could just picture you just dropping it off in the front of the police station like, you're welcome.
Well, my buddy,
get this drunk guy out of here.
My buddy pulled it out. He didn't even have time to put it down before the cop came over to him. He was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he was just like a deer in headlights. He's like, "I don't know." And then they asked
he was like, "I'm going home," and he dove in.
I hope that I really wished he just took off running with it, and they fucking tackled him. We would have gotten on an episode of Live PD. It would have been great. But the fucked up thing is that he actually gave them his correct information, so he got a fine in the mail. I was like, "Dude, you were so fucked up. You told them you didn't have your ID. They said, okay, just give me your social security number," and they wrote it down on paper. I was like, you could have fucking told them anything.
Oh my God.
And then you probably could have had a problem to deal with later. He got a $350 fine in the mail for lewd behavior. I love the word lewd behavior.
This gentleman was lewd.
He was lewd.
It sounds like Trump wrote it. He was lewd.
He was acting lewd.
He was so lewd.
Yeah, so lewd.
He had this storm drain where he said, this guy's lewd.
So lewd. We're going to tax them. Yeah.
Anyways, I got to piss, dude.
All right, so we're going to let you piss. We're going to, you want to have a guest on the next week before you go on sabbatical?
Yeah.
We'll do it up. All right. So, yeah, hit the hotline. Tell us what's in your ass. We'll see you next week.
Later.